Good morning and welcome to this very, very, very early sprint, or very late if you're not in Europe. I don't know your life. So I thought I was going to host with Violet a sprint every Monday for the remainder of April, or for the entirety of April, because I got stuff to do, and so does Violet. Maybe
I'm gonna try to do the stuff.
she should do her best.
Yeah, I'm gonna
do you
do my
want?
best.
Do you want to just do a quick introduction in case
Yeah.
anyone's out there? I see
Hi.
Anya in chat, so.
Oh, Anya's in chat. Hi, Anya. I'm Violet. My channel is Writing Violet. I do writing vlogs, experiments, and sometimes writing craft book reviews. I write YA.
My name is Stig, and I write science fiction fantasy. I do. What am I doing? Space opera. I'm writing a space opera, is what I'm doing, with a little science and a lot of fiction. Can't beat that. I also dabble in short stories. And yeah, that's the crowd today. Let's see. Good morning, Anya. It must be early in Germany. Are they on the same time zone as us?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they're straight below. That makes sense. And good morning, Raphael. Or good evening from Arizona.
Trying to think what time it is in Arizona.
I know it's 2 a.m. in Pennsylvania and 1 a.m. in Texas, so I don't know where Arizona fits into that schedule. America has like 5 time zones, which always.
Yeah, but Arizona's like the only state who doesn't do daylight savings, so that's why it confuses me.
Oh, they don't.
No, they're like, that's stupid, which I think everybody should probably do, but.
Yeah, I mean, who needs it in this day and age? It's 11 p.m.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
wow,
Well,
so that's
that's a still
even.
reasonable time to be awake.
Yeah, not like 8 a.m. That is an unreasonable time to be awake. I'm thinking I'm just going to jump right into a sprint. I prepared a little soft 15-minute sprint.
Let's do
Let's
it.
see if I can share the. Don't look at my recommended. Oh, these are not so embarrassing, by the way. Just look at them. Doesn't matter. Gonna do a little Goodpress intro, and I think if do you want to say what you're working on, maybe before we
Yeah,
start, and also the
I am.
chat if you're working.
I'm working on my witch project. I am making extremely slow progress, but I'm just trying to finish up this kind of one of the first chapters. That's where I'm at.
That makes sense. And I'm working on my space opera whip. I had to pause and think about that. It's crazy. I just said it. And you're doing nano, right? Because I'm doing nano, 20,000 nano, and you're like doing loosely a nano.
Yeah, I'm doing like my first act, which I'm not even sure how many words are supposed to be in a first act.
Depends on your genre and target audience, I think. Is it
Well, I think
fantasy adult?
the draft. Well, no, it's YA, and I would say like contemporary fantasy. So I'm thinking like my zero draft should be around 60 or 70K. So how much percentage wise is supposed to be in the first act?
So if you say 60K, then your first act is like 25%, so that's 15K.
Okay, that's my goal then for camp.
Yeah, that's a healthy goal. And also, AS Renner could live without daylight savings. I think because I'm GMT +2, so I'm like 2 hours ahead in daylight summertime saving something. Big Ben, I don't know what our time arbitrary. It's just taking a shower. 15 minutes for a shower. That's doable. I believe in you.
Shower sprints. Yeah.
Yeah, just run through it and you get it done. So if anyone in chat is working on something, let us know and I'll look it over after the sprints. So I'm just going to start 3, 2, 1, and go. Good luck. the ASMR for that video was just chef's kiss. That was so calming, so soothing. Just waves crashing into the little dock area. So Wallace did a good job on that timer. It's one of my favorites, and not just
Yeah,
because I'm biased
classic.
and it's because it's Guptra's, but. And I see Miguel is here. Hi, Miguel. How could you forget us, my boy? And this is kind of strange since it's currently 2:16 p.m. That's daytime, yes. Where no other writing live stream has taken place. Well, we're happy to fill that awkward space or strange space.
Yeah, we're in kind of a streaming dead zone right now, so which is
fair,
weird
though,
because like there's writers everywhere. Like
I feel a lot of them are American or Australian. There's not a lot of European. It's just like you, me, and Anya. I feel like sometimes,
yeah.
and then maybe not. Gays everywhere. Who knows yet?
I think I figured out who Gays Everywhere is. I'm pretty sure it's the actual Nicki Minaj.
Oh, that would be iconic if she just casually hung out on our streams. Anya's back from a shower. That was quick. I'm impressed. 15 minutes is a lot for me. Hey, yes, just greeting each other. I'm just finishing homework that is due in a few hours. Oof, that's a last minute call, which I can vibe with because I usually did a lot of last minute calls too when I was in school. Thank God I'm over with that. So how did you do for that sprint?
I wrote, looks like just over 150 words. Slow progress, but progress.
All progress is good progress. I wrote 189.
Whew.
Yeah. I ended the last chapter on a very actiony bit, so it's easier to pick up after an actiony bit, I feel, than if you pick up after it. I feel that because then you got to deal with kind of the immediate repercussions of the actiony bit. So my last scene ended with a car crashing into the water and like the two people in the car being flooded and having to get out. So I feel like
Dang, that is action.
I'm writing like super action stuff. So there's like gunfire. It's like, how would I describe it? Do you watch any sci-fi or like stuff like that?
I mean, I don't watch anything these days, but I mean, like I'm vaguely familiar with pop culture.
So like Firefly and that kind of stuff.
I know of it.
Okay. Well, it's very actiony anyway, so I feel like it's easier to follow up after that than if I've kind of ended a scene on a quiet, somber moment or some pondering, because I'm like, okay, so where do we go for here? But like now, I mean, they got to rescue the people from the car, and there's like the whole health check, and everything just writes itself. Well, not writes itself, I wish, but the plot kind of lends to itself after an actiony scene, I feel. And my manuscript broke 11,000 words too. Woohoo!
Oh, nice.
Trucking on, only 90,000 to go. Oh God, why are books so long? I did some very quick and vague math, and I write about 2,500 words per chapter. That's like my average.
Mm-hmm.
And if all my chapters are 2,500 words, my manuscript in total will be 130,000 words. So I'm like, oh, I gotta write all that. Dang.
Oof, that's a big book.
Yeah, it is 3 points of views, and there's like 3 parts to it. So 4 parts to it. So it's not going to be like Priory of the Orange Tree thick, but she'll be chunky.
Yeah, but you can get away with that, like in adult sci-fi, like me writing YA. Like I cannot write
no.
something like
that would not fly. Although I think isn't like Lady Midnight and Chain of Iron and all that jazz? Isn't those pretty thick?
Well, when you get to a certain level, rules don't matter.
That is very true. For a debut novel, have you published before?
No, and I don't think I will be anytime soon.
So for a debut novel, I feel like you kind of have to stick to the rules, yeah. But I wish I was Cassandra Clare. Well, not really, because I don't vibe with that kind of content. But I wish I was her, but me. The Naked Firefly. Who's that? I'm sorry
Oh,
for
I
this.
know who she is. I didn't know she was in Germany though. I do know who she
Oh.
is though.
Raphael, what 89 word 89, yep, that's English. 89 words, finished one scene and started another. That's the business, isn't it? He's also working on a sci-fi. What kind of sci-fi are you working on? Inquiring minds wants to know. Since I'm working on space opera, I like to connect with my sci-fi peeps. Oh, first sprint is done. So yeah, so what's your favorite bits to write then? Actiony or somber stuff?
I
Like that's the
think
only two things in a novel.
no, I think I'm better at the, I don't know, emotional threads, the emotional plot lines. Maybe because my stories don't have too big of action stuff going on most of the time. I'm actually really bad at action scenes in general.
I didn't say I was good at them. I just write them because they're easy. Like when a lot of physical stuff happens, I don't have to kind of think about it. But then my CP is like, that would be great if we can get some insight into what this person is thinking. I'm like, oh right, emotions. I should include them, shouldn't I?
Uh, yeah.
So I feel like we would like yin and yang our writing.
Yeah, I don't know, that's what I'm doing right now. I don't know. I think I'm so insecure about everything I write at the moment. Like, I just hate everything I write right now, but I'm just trying to push through it.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Like I can vibe with that. I'm like, this is shit, but it's my shit. So I'll,
Yeah.
I'll just keep at it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Uh,
Well, I'm calling it a space opera. I'm not. Well, I'm pretty sure I know the definition, but it's very dramatic, very melodramatic. A lot of action. There's like high stakes, high drama stuff.
but
So
are
I
you
feel
like
like that.
hopping around space in a spaceship?
No, everything is happening on one planet, and there's no intergalactic travel. No
Hmm.
interplanetary. Is that what it's called?
I don't
So
know.
yeah, because I didn't want to deal with that whole space thing. So I'm like, I just want to write in another place where I don't have
Hmm.
to follow our rules. I could just as well have written fantasy, to be fair.
Yeah, there's actually a pretty fine line, I think, between some sci-fi and fantasy.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, should I make this fantasy? Should I? Should I? But then I'm like committed to this space thing now, so
Yeah, I feel like a lot of my stories, like at the beginning, fall in that space right between, and I always choose to lean fantasy. I've never decided to take something sci-fi yet. Maybe one day.
maybe one day. Maybe your witches get like a super high tech gun. Though, what's that? Oh, that was a mediocre TV show, but I like the concept. Something something Chronicles, not Narnia, but it was a fantasy teen show. What was it called? Shanty Chronicles, Shannara Chronicles. Is that a
Never
TV
heard of it.
show?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Shannara, the Shannara Chronicles, yeah, drama series. The point of this was that it's set so far in the future that all our technology has devolved, and they now use like primitive magic and stuff. Was there magic in it? Well, it was very primitive anyway, but there was still like grow, r- big ruins of cities and stuff that have grown together. So I thought that was a cool concept of merging the two. But the show was shit though. The characters, ugh. I didn't really vibe with that. But I think that's me with most teen shows. We could, but I'm super anal about stuff, so I will never co-write with anyone ever.
Yeah, I really commend people who can do that. I have no idea how I could even manage that. So I have
Yeah.
such a chaotic process of writing. Like I don't think I could let anybody into that without.
Oh. I'm super detail oriented, and like group projects is not my jam. Always wonder what a space opera. Yeah, I think it's just like high stake, high drama science fiction. That's a space opera.
Just gonna pull
I
it,
shall look.
just look it up.
So think like Star Wars, Firefly, The Expanse, stuff like that. Yes, the Shannara Chronicles. I like the first season,
A
second didn't finish.
sub-drama of science fiction that emphasizes space warfare, melodramatic adventures, interplanetary battles, romance, and I'm not going to click on the whole article, but
Yeah, so I have like pretty high stake drama. I got romance. There's like this revolution kind of Hunger Games esque stuff going on.
ooh,
So, well, not the Hunger Games, but like the whole
yeah.
capital people stuff. That's the vibe I'm going for. So I feel like that qualifies as a space opera, and I just like the tagline: "A space opera with a little science and a lot of fiction."
So you're doing it for the tagline.
No, 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 no. I'm not forcing anything. I'm just like, that's a good tagline. Damn it, I should use it. I don't remember exactly. I just remember a guy with long hair that I kind of fancied, and that's the reason I watched the first season, as it is with everything I watch. Let's see. Shall we jump into another sprint, maybe? Because I was kind of vibing with what I was doing.
Yeah, I actually was in a good flow too, so I am fine with jumping back in. I just have to quickly look up the Shannara Chronicles.
I think he cut his hair in his later seasons, so
Ah, I have literally never heard of this. Is that the I know that actor though from somewhere.
uh, which one of them?
The blonde guy.
Where's the IMDb? There you go. Austin Butler.
Yeah.
His name sounds familiar. Was he in that Disney show? He was in Arrow, the Carrie
Oh,
Diaries.
he's in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's probably where I've seen him.
Oh, he was in Hannah Montana too. That's probably where I
Oh
seen
yeah,
him.
that I've definitely seen all the Hannah Montanas. So
Yeah, but I watched for him, but then he cut his hair, and I'm like, you know what? The story wasn't that good. Can't get away with that. I saw the first episode and I went, yeah, that's me about. I think it's also because I'm not like YA isn't my jam usually. I like the Hunger Games style stuff I can like, but if it gets too teenage focused, I'm like, I live that life. I don't want to go back. I don't want to be young again. Any preference to the timer? Should we try and do a 25-minute one maybe?
yeah, we should go a little bit longer.
Countdown timer, 25 minutes for relaxing music for concentration. Let's do beach. I'm feeling summery today. It snowed as I walked home this morning.
Brr.
Yeah, I wasn't too happy. I already celebrated spring. How dare they? Chrome tab, 25 minutes. Let's go to the beach. In memory of Nicki Minaj. I liked Under the Son of the King, but I think it dies in the second scene. Spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't watched Shannara Chronicles. 80 degrees. I'm presuming not Celsius. What's that in Celsius?
80 degrees would be like
80 Fahrenheit in Celsius. 26 degrees. Ooh, wow. That's in Arizona? Is it very humid in Arizona? Is that a swamp or am I
no,
misremembering that?
Arizona's like a desert.
Okay, so it's not a swamp.
No.
Oops, spoilers. It's okay. I don't think anyone here watches Shannara Chronicles, and if they do, they're probably on top of it anyway. And if they don't, I apologize. I shall delete the comments. No, I shan't. No, I shan't. Let's just jump into it.
yeah, let's
I got a car wreck to
go.
salvage. 3, 2, 1, and jump. That was the shittiest timer in the history of timers. I'm personally offended.
Oh, that was funny.
Three ads in one timer. What's wrong? I blacklisted the account, so I'll never ever get anything up from them again. How did you do during that longer sprint, despite the 3 ad breaks?
I finished my chapter and set up a new chapter.
Ooh, because you're a planter.
I'm more of a pantser, but with this project, I'm trying to put a little more structure into it.
So how do you do that? Like, do you do any preparations before each chapter, or?
Well, this project, I mean, right now I'm kind of rewriting, and I did do a beat sheet for this project when I originally did it 2 years ago. So, I mean, I have a beat sheet, but
Okay, that's more than most pantsers.
because this is going to be a 4-book series, so I feel like if I
Ah.
had no plan, it would be a mess. I like.
She needs a plan. I did
So, how
around
did you do?
200 words. I kept a vigilant eye on the timer to intercept. I was halfway through. I was like, should I just find a new timer? But I was kind of committed to the beach now. But yeah, I wrote around 200 words. They got the peeps out of the water. Very undramatic. Well, if it's very dramatic, but I got to do a little first aid, showcase my medical skills. And Anya didn't notice the ads. I was very on it, so it was like 4, 8, 12 seconds extra writing time, Anya. So I hope you treasured it and valued it. Ads and timer is really annoying though, and it's also very stupid. What's the point?
uh,
Only a few final edits, and I can submit my science paper. Ooh, what's the topic? Science. That's like biology and stuff, right? I'm asking you.
Science, yeah. I don't know what Miguel's doing.
Oh, isn't science a subject in American school?
Yeah,
'Cause
but
you're
I mean, it's a pretty broad subject.
okay. We don't have something called science in Norwegian, so I wouldn't know what the equivalent would be. We just like have a biology subject, or chemistry is one subject, physics
Yeah, that
is one
all
subject.
falls under a science umbrella.
Yeah, so we have singular subjects. But yeah, good on you. I hope you get a A. That's the best one. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the wild Arizona creatures bite, I guess. What would that be? Is there like coyotes and scorpions or something?
I think so. Snakes. Spiders.
Had it with these snakes. So yeah, I'm a super planner, so I know exactly what's going on. But
And
it's just
you do like, how do you then do an outline? Like, what does an outline for you look like, or your planning method?
how much time do we have? Jeez.
I'm just curious because like I don't outline, so like I'm always curious what somebody actually means an outline is. Because like my beat sheet, I think real planners would laugh at it.
Oh damn! I do a lot though. That being said, I like there's different ways to plan a novel, and I'm like the extreme. So I'll do like a thought dump first, where I just like every thought I ever have about my project goes in. And I think the thought dump for this was about 6 months maybe before I actually started looking at it. I just write down anything I had because it was very different. Like the initial concept is very different than what I have now. Initially, it was a YA project, but I'm like, I don't even like to read YA. Why should I write YA just because it's popular? Like that makes no sense. But I'll do like a big brain dump document. I think I had 7,000 words of notes in my.
Is it
thought
like
dump.
written out like a summary? Like
No,
or is
this
it
is
just
just like
random?
anything. Yeah, character names, bits of dialogue, places,
Okay.
phrases, just concepts for different things, or like just anything. It's a mess. It's a giant log of a mess. And then I'll sit down and I'll organize it into what like some preliminary work, I guess. So I'll take all the characters and put them in one bit, and I'll do all the setting bit and put that in one bit, and do all the plot bits in one bit, and I kind of make a blurb out of what I want to. Can I show this? How would I do that from this? I guess that's also a lot of spoilers for my project. If I enter Studio on my macaroni, as not Catherine spoiling her entire book, yes. These names that I have on stuff, it's wild. Share screen, application, project. Does that work? So let's just close the drafts. So I'll get thought dump. This one is the edited version, so this is just 5,000 words. But it's just like anything goes. And then I'll organize it into like a more cleaner stuff. This one isn't filled out.
Wow.
Because I've done this in another, but I'll just organize into this. And then I'll start doing the beat sheet. And then I'll do individual chapters. So when I say I outline, I mean I outline. And then all these chapters.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, no, this one. But usually I'll go and fill in a detailed bullet point list of each chapter too. So I outline when I outline. So yeah, that's how I do it. Stop sharing screen. Hope I didn't spoil my entire novel there. For the 3 people in chat, anyway.
Oh, this is gonna blow up on replay.
Yeah, for sure. It's gonna give me my 4,000 hours. But yeah, I thoroughly outline, like to the point where I procrastinate outlining, I guess. Like instead of writing, I'll just outline.
You see, I do like that brain dumping stage, like on paper, like I don't do any digital planning, and then like I usually start writing pretty quickly. And then afterwards, I try to go and then break things down and see if they fit into structure. But after I've already written it.
I can't do anything on paper. I gotta have it all in one place, which is why I love Scrivener, because I can just like literally have everything in one place, and it's amazing, convenient.
Well, I just started my series Bible on Scrivener for this project, just because I can see that I'm going to get overwhelmed if I want this to be a series, that I'm going to forget things.
I used to use Google Docs, but I think Google Docs, the interface is really not confusing, but it's very tedious if you have like multiple docs and like series Bible and character sheets and all that jazz. So I think Scrivener is by far my favorite organization tool when it comes to novel outlining and writing. Not so great for editing though.
Yeah. I mean, I really only know the basics of how to use Scrivener. I don't...
But yeah, I can't do paper because then it get lost. And I used to do those post-its. Well, that's just like hopeless. I had to like a board with post-it notes on it, like a whiteboard or a like cardboard board. But it's just it kept falling off and it got jumbled. And I'm like, I want to go digital. So I splurged on Scrivener 3. Well, not splurge. It wasn't that expensive, and it was like 20% off after NaNo last year. So when you do the beat sheet, and that's it.
Well, this is the only project I've ever done a beat sheet for. Normally, I don't do a beat sheet. Like I don't know. Like I know the beats. Like the first act, I have like memorized the beats. So like I just wing it, like just off of memory, knowing what should be coming next. So like usually I have a strong beginning to my stories, and then everything falls into chaos. But I can write really good beginnings. That's why I have so many projects started and not finished.
You just put one beginning after another, and then you like have a book at the end.
Well, I wish it worked like that.
Miguel, it's a research project where we basically do science experiment, but it's a large part of the grade. So you make a volcano. Is that it? Because that's like I think all American kids do that. And science for me is all branches like biology and chemistry, but the branches are split between the different high school years. This is complicated. Yeah, I do a thorough outline. I'll outline with capital O. I brain them first and write several drafts that could also count as outlining with character interviews in between to get the core of the
Ooh.
story. That's how long would those drafts be though? Because like, if my novel is 130,000 words, like I'm not going to write that 5 times. I can barely write it one time. So
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think maybe that's a difference. Like when I go into like a zero draft, like I know I'm going to write this multiple times. So
yeah, I guess I always feel like the planners we front load all our work, while planters or pantsers backload all the work.
good way to
So
think of it. Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, we all do the same amount of work, just you do differently, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's just like for me, like I create better like on the fly like that, and I think maybe some people are more creative in that more structured way. So I have
I
no
need
idea.
very rigid frames to function, so outlining works for me.
But are you then ever, while you're drafting, like think of something new, or does it change while you draft, or does it like stay to the outline? Because that's me every time I've tried to outline, it starts to veer. That's why the outline isn't helpful for me.
Oh, you mean within the story? I'll just change the
Yeah.
outline. It's not set in stone.
Yeah, well, that was like the problem when I did the beat sheet. By the time I got to Act 2, everything had slightly changed a little bit to make the rest of everything that I had
Yeah, then I just go
outlined
and
kind of
change everything
irrelevant.
else.
That sounds like a lot of work.
It's less work than having to rewrite an entire novel because all your concepts are off.
Oh, okay, I guess so.
For me, anyway, that makes sense. And I also, when I do the deep outline, like down to the note cards and stuff, I only do one act at a time. So now I only have Act 1 outlined, and when I'm done with that, I'll look at Act 2A. So that way, if something major shifts in Act 1, there's not a lot of work I have to do because I haven't done it. Does that make sense? No,
I
I can see it
guess.
doesn't.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, because I only like I call it a deep outline. So I'll go in and
Uh-huh.
do like bullet points of each chapter and like really detailed. I only do that one act at a time.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you kind of outline
Yeah.
as you go in that way.
Yeah. So I'll have like
Okay.
the major beats I'll have for the entire novel, but then like the in-depth outline is just one act at a time. That way, if something changes, I don't have to go through a shit ton of other acts to do it.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't really know. It is such a fluent process from outline-ish to actual manuscript. I just give the story more and more depth? Question mark. I hope so. I compare it to painting that starts with a sketch and then more and more layers are added. Yeah, that's a bit like my outlining. I'll start with the bigger blocks and just build smaller and smaller and smaller on top of it until I have a very fragile card house that never gets written. Do you ever like? I mean, I guess you do. I guess all writers do. But what is your way of tackling if you get like another idea for another project while you write? Do you just drop
Work.
what you have and continue on
Um,
something else?
no, I usually let my whatever plot bunny be like my side burner project for a little bit until I can't take it anymore, and then I have to make it my main project.
Ah,
So, like as a treat for myself, I let myself brainstorm in other projects. So, but I never let myself fully go into drafting mode for a different project.
so do you draft and then you let it sit for a while and then you work on something else? Because you
Well,
mentioned different projects, so
because my drafts never really get finished. Like I wanted to finish my High School Monster Hunter last month, and that didn't work. I didn't. I didn't even come close to finishing it. But I just left it on pause to go back to this project, which this project is also like 2 years old that I never finished. So, ugh.
it's all right though. They say that like the first novel you ever write will take you approximately 5 years to publish. So I only got
I do
3.
have I do have two finished zero drafts. Like I do have drafts that are finished. I just don't feel like going back and revising them and putting the work into them right now.
You just want to do more drafts.
Yeah, more drafts, more ideas.
Do you plan on? I don't think I've ever heard you talk about, but like traditional versus self-publishing.
Yeah, I do want to do traditional, but I don't know. Right now, I'm so insecure about my writing. I don't think I'm ready. So,
Fair enough, fair enough. I drop what I work on, give myself some days off to write down the new idea, and then go back to the original project with a fresh mind. It's a bit something like I did too, because I recently wrote a short story on a weekend, just as a break. And it was like when I come back to the main project, I was like, ugh, now I'm excited to dig in.
yeah, that's what's good about project hopping. It keeps your mind sharp.
Yeah, and also I don't like I love short stories because you actually get to finish them within like a reasonable amount of time. Because obviously, 130K novel is a lot, but like a 5K short story, I can do that in a weekend. So there's a lot
I'm
of
trying to do short stories, but like, I don't know. I don't think I've mastered the small format yet. It's still something I'm working on.
Do you have a Skillshare account?
No.
Okay. Well, then that's not helpful. So, but there's a couple of courses on Skillshare that I took to learn how, like the basics of short storying, which helped me a lot writing mine. So, but yeah, for anyone else who's interested, what's her name again? She's on YouTube. She writes short stories. Hannah Kidder or something. Hannah Lee Kidder. She does Skillshare classes on writing short stories, which I found very helpful when I wrote mine. So I can recommend those. And also Brandon Sanderson that's a YouTube clip, has a class on short stories with a guest host, a woman who writes short stories. I also found that very useful. Shall we dive into another sprint?
Yep.
I'm over halfway at today's target, 389 out of 720. Can do it. Let's see, I got the cutest timer lined up. I'm not going to get any work done. Oh, the quality is riveting. There you go. Just stare at this for 25 minutes.
Oh, that's so cute.
Fair warning, there was corgis also down the line, so BRB. Not BRB, AFK, I guess.
Okay, let's do it.
How did that go for you?
I did really well. I got 292 words.
Oh, fucking killing it. I forgot what it was at, but I think like 60, 70 words, plural. And I'm at 463 out of 720, so I can do this today. It is only 9:45.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about being productive in the morning.
I am, well, obviously I've worked night shifts now, so I'm not as productive as I used to be, but morning time tends to be the best time for me. For some reason, after like 6 p.m., my brain just shuts off creatively. It's like,
Oh,
yeah,
that's when mine turns on.
oh, well, because it's kind of ironic because I used to be a night, well, I still am a night owl, but like the brain power to create kind of depletes around like 4 to 6 p.m. So, but then I like to do odd things, like I can outline and stuff like that fine in the evening, but like the writing itself is best during the day. And yes, Mary Robinette Koal was the lady in the video from Brandon Sanderson's channel on short stories, if you're interested. Anya thinks it's unfair to use the timer like that. There was especially the one puppy playing with itself in the mirror. That was tugging at my heartstrings. I don't know if
I
you
like the one that was upside down with the teeth. Hee hee, that was my favorite one.
Emily, hello, if you're still here. And good morning to Marta. And Anya read an article and her son woke up. But if you do night shifts and write during the day, when do you sleep? Never. The trick is that I don't write. So when I do, it tends to be on days off. And I'm also in between jobs right now. So I'm currently working 2 jobs. Like I'm finishing up one and then I'm doing the training for the other one. So all my free periods is training for the new job. So I'm like 2 jobs. I'm critiquing a manuscript. I'm beta reading for someone. I'm writing my own book. I'm trying to finish my own book. And it's just like a lot of balls. A lot of balls.
Oh, that seems all consuming.
Also, Emily is very sweaty. Thank you for sharing that. Rearranging your office again? Didn't you just do that? Or I'm thinking of something else. Well, keep us updated on
Maybe
Instagram.
Emily needs a shower sprint.
Yeah, maybe she needs a shower sprint. I'm thinking one more short sprint, and then we'll wrap it up in the end.
Oh yeah, it's getting late.
It's getting late, 9:45. Whew. Got so much to do. I gotta sleep to have. Oh, and then I'm also traveling tonight, so I'm like, ugh, do I sleep now or do I just stay awake and then sleep during travel? But I don't know.
That's a risky move.
It is, and so far they tend to not pay off for me because I'm like, I'll just pass out for 10 hours. Ugh, I just set a shoulder, and it was so fulfilling for me anyway. Also, I don't. Well, probably not because you're American. You're American, right? I keep
Yes, yes.
thinking that. You're, but I have to look up words to know their like exact definition a lot. So I just looked up queasy. It's like, does that mean what I think it means? I don't know
That's
if
a
you do
good
stuff like
word.
that. Don't know if you do stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I get paranoid also about, I get very also specific about using words in the wrong context or the wrong way.
Yeah.
So,
I'm like, is it queasy or is it nauseous? I'll have to know. I have to know. I gotta Google definitions. And also, I hang with a lot of British people, so a lot of my words are like the British version. And I'm writing in American English in my manuscript. So I'm like, how do you spell color again? So it's just like all the basic stuff.
yeah, I think my speaking has gotten so corrupted from living abroad so many years and not being around other native English speakers, so I pick up mistakes that people make because I'm just so used to talking to non-native English speakers. I just pick up their mistakes and their phrases.
What do they speak in
So,
Luxembourg?
Luxembourgish and French and German.
Oh, a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I didn't know
So
Luxembourgian was a language of its own.
it wasn't a language until like the 1950s when they really wanted to distance themselves from Germany after the war.
Oh, okay, that makes sense, I
So,
guess, historically.
yeah.
You speak all of them, French, German, and
I
Luxembourgian?
do not speak French. I speak a little bit of German and some Luxembourgish, but the languages are so similar. Like they used to be considered one language. So I kind of mix them, which is not really good.
It makes for a delightful crockpot.
Yeah.
Is your partner Luxembourgian, can I
Y-
ask?
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Ah,
So we
okay.
we speak a weird random mix to each other a lot of the time, which is not healthy.
Yeah, I guess, and then being an author on top is just like chronically known for not being able to phrase anything outside paper.
Yeah, yeah. People don't understand that. They expect you to be so good with words, and it's like in a certain context, I'm okay with words.
Yeah, like texting, like friends or informal writing, I'm just pure garbage. I'm about to submit your homework. Well done, Miguel. You're killing it. I Google words I know just to be sure. Me too. I use words wrong all the time. My boyfriend finds this hilarious. I find like because I'm not a native English speaker, shock, I know, but I find I replace words in like idioms and phrases and stuff like that all the time, and especially after I've started using autocorrect for my phone, it is criminal the stuff I like say. What was one of them? Uh, I wrote to I think it was Wallace or something. I was like, "Get off my case," and I'm like, "Get off my casket." It's like I mean, it kind of works, doesn't it? So
Yeah,
now,
no, it works better. It makes you sound like original and creative.
yeah. So now we're just like, get on my casket. And also, what was another one? Something about God's honest truth. I don't know the context for that, but instead it's like God's finest truth, which still works, but it's just like all those things, and then some things that are not shall not bring up in chat because they're not very appropriate. But it replaces words all the time. But not Gooptress, though. She lives forever ingrained on my phone. Shall we do a little cooldown sprint so I can maybe get 500 words during this morning session? That would be amazing. 220 words left for the day. I can do that.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's
Let's get crazy.
get a few more words out.
Do you write on your Alpha Smart now? Or?
Yeah, I have my Alpha Smart plugged into my laptop, so it's coming up on the screen on my laptop. I'm just using this keyboard.
Oh, okay. That makes sense, I guess.
Well, it's confusing because I have the desktop keyboard, the laptop keyboard, and the Alpha Smart keyboard right in front of me right now. It looks crazy.
Yeah, I have like my stationary computer with two screens in front of me and a keyboard, and I'm just like my Mac is what I write with, so that's just like plopped in front of everything.
Okay, so you have the same thing going like what I have. I have 3 screens in front of me right now.
Yeah, we're living the same dream, Violet. We're living the same dream.
All the screens.
Yeah, gets to have more. And sometimes I'll Google something on my phone if I need like a quick reference.
Oh yeah,
That's
same. Yeah,
worst.
have all the screens, everything.
Yep.
Chaos.
Let's see. 10-minute cooldown stream and go.
Let's do it. Hello? Are you on mute? Am I on mute?
Sorry, I'm a clown.
Oh my god, that scared me.
Yeah, I'm just talking my head off. No response. I'm like, wow, Violet needs a nap.
Ugh.
But yeah, how did you do? That was the last print for the day, even though I forgot to put up the banner.
I got so into writing there. I was like, oh, it's over. I got 127 words.
Amazing. You're killing it.
Yeah, I really got a flow in this early morning sesh.
Good. I wrote about like 100 words, maybe. Yeah, I'm at 553 now.
Woo!
So that's good. But now I'm getting into like deep emotional stuff. So I'm like, oh, I don't want to do it. Can I just skip this? Estranged siblings, do they have to be estranged? I can just make them friends. They don't need to work it out.
Ooh, yeah, okay, that's tough.
But yeah. So let's see how chat did. Anya, I'm guessing you went crazy as you usually do, Anya. And congratulations with submitting your paper. Well done. All your homework is done. Cleared some memory on my phone and set up the tripod and also had some breakfast. Ooh, are you filming? Oh, I'm guessing you're filming unless you're doing a photo shoot. Or what else do you use the tripod for? Anya watched a video in Luxembourgish language. I was curious if I could understand some of it. And I'm curious if you
Yeah.
did. Is it
You-
based of
you-
something or they just
Yeah.
purely invented it?
No. So it was considered a German dialect before it was its own language. So I'm assuming Anya could probably understand most of it.
Ah. Wonder if
I mean,
could.
that's why it was so easy for me to pick it up. I've never taken a class in it, but since I had some basic German knowledge, it was just easy to sort of pick it up.
Ah, that's interesting. I had 6 years with German in school, so maybe I would understand some of it. But if it's like very accented dialect, I probably can't.
It pretty much it's like German. It sounds like German with some French vocabulary mixed in and spoken more like in a Dutch accent. That's kind of like the best way I can describe Luxembourgish.
That sounds like pretty accurate description. Yep, well done, Miguel. Drawing time lapse today.
Ooh, cool.
This is the last time I rearranged my office in early autumn. I forget that Australia is basically the upside down world. It's so weird to me because we just had Christmas and she's like out in shorts in sunny Australia, and I'm like, it's Christmas, you have snow. And it's quite similar to German. Well, I hope your office is beautiful, and I'm excited to see your next video, Emily, whenever that is. So I think we're gonna wrap it up for today. Do you have any parting words? A hymn you want to sing or something?
Nope.
Nope. Where can people find you if they so desire?
I am Writing Violet on both Instagram and on YouTube.
In hindsight, I should have linked our stuff below. I will get to that at some point in time. And I've been Stig. I'm writing science fiction fantasy. Science fiction fantasy sounds about right. Currently working on a debut novel, and if you're here, you probably know who I am anyway. Check out my other streams. Violet is there in chat, and she's always delightfully snarky, so it's a good time. And that's it. So thank you for hanging with us this early Monday morning. We hope you got a productive start to your week, and if you didn't, then maybe you even got clean, like Anya, which is also a productive start to a week.
Or sweaty, like Emily.
Or sweaty, like Emily. We really have the full array of bodily, earthly experiences here. Or if you did your homework, like Miguel, I guess. Or draw, like Marta. It's been a blast, and we'll see you next Monday, I guess. Yeah. Thanks for coming, and thanks for being here. Bye.
Bye.